In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and dense woods, there lived an old man named Henry. He had spent most of his life in solitude, tending to his garden and enjoying the quiet whispers of nature. Despite his cheerful demeanor, a palpable loneliness lingered around him, especially since the passing of his dear wife several years ago. One sunny afternoon, while walking along a worn path that meandered through the forest, Henry heard a faint whimpering. Curious, he followed the sound until he stumbled upon a tangled thicket. Pushing through the branches, he discovered a small puppy, shivering and alone, with a scruffy coat and bright, pleading eyes. Without hesitation, Henry knelt beside the frightened creature. The puppy appeared to be just a few weeks old, with a matted coat and hungry belly. "Oh, little one," he murmured softly, extending his hand. To his surprise, the puppy inched closer, sniffing cautiously before nudging his palm with its tiny nose. With a heart full of compassion, Henry scooped the puppy into his arms and carried it home. He named the little beast Max, and soon they became inseparable companions. Max brought joy and laughter back into Henry's life. The old man built a warm, cozy bed for him by the fireplace and made sure to fill his bowl with hearty meals. What once was a quiet home was now alive with the playful barks and antics of his furry friend. As weeks turned into months, Henry began to notice that Max was growing rapidly. His paws were larger than expected, and his features began to shift, becoming more pronounced. There were moments when Henry caught a glimmer of something fierce in Max's eyes, a spark that reminded him of the wild he had long respected from afar. One chilly night, while walking through the village, Henry stumbled upon a gathering. Whispers swirled through the crowd as a local hunter spoke of sightings of a lone wolf prowling near the village outskirts. The townsfolk were frightened, stories of the wolf's haunting howl echoed through the night air. Henry felt a twist in his stomach. He could sense that there was more to the tale than everyone knew. As the moon hung high in the sky, illuminating the forest, Henry brought Max outside for a stroll. Suddenly, the stillness was broken by the echo of a haunting howl. Max perked up, tilting his head as if in response. He began to tug at the leash, yearning to move toward the sound. "Max, wait!" Henry exclaimed, but the puppy was resolute. Henry sensed a deeper instinct within Max, one that he couldn't comprehend but was undeniably powerful. As they entered the woods, Max darted into the underbrush, leading Henry deeper into the heart of the forest. There, beneath a towering oak, they came upon a scene that made Henry's heart race. A pack of wolves stood together, their eyes glistening in the moonlight. At their center was a large, majestic wolf, with a powerful stance and silver-tipped fur. Henry's breath caught in his throat. He realized in that moment that Max was not just a stray puppy, he was a creature born of the wild. A sense of pride welled up inside him as Max approached the pack with a familiarity that surprised Henry. The wolves greeted him, nuzzling him affectionately as if welcoming a long-lost family member. With a heavy heart, Henry understood that while he had saved Max, it was now Max's time to reconnect with his true nature. Bending down, he placed his hand on Max's fur, whispering softly, "You'll always be my boy, no matter where you belong." Tears glistened in Henry's eyes as he felt the bond they shared was unbroken, even in parting. Max turned back, meeting Henry's gaze for a brief moment, and then stepped forward to join his newfound family. The pack moved gracefully into the shadows, their forms disappearing into the whispering trees, leaving Henry standing alone but filled with warmth. In the days that followed, Henry found solace in the knowledge that he had given Max a chance at life. From that day on, he often wandered into the woods, listening for the familiar howls in the distance. And every now and then, he would catch a glimpse of a silver-furred figure watching over him, a reminder that love knows no boundaries and that true freedom brings its own joy. Years later, as he sat on his porch surrounded by blooming flowers he had lovingly tended, a wild wind brushed through the trees. In that moment, Henry felt a sense of peace wash over him, knowing that within the heartbeat of nature, he would forever carry the spirit of the bond they shared, a bond of love between an old man and a wild wolf.